Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And a very good day to all my fellow friends and my beloved lecturers sezahi. My name is Muhammad Shafiq bin Ramli. My metric number is 258958. Today, I will present to you about my informative speech under the topics tips in preparing the interview. On one fine day, or maybe tomorrow, you will get a call that you need to attend an interview where it doesn't matter the interview for a job, interview for a case, or even interview for a scholarships. There is various style of interview that you might get on your future, such as phone screen, where the interviewer will interview you through a phone call. Panel interview, which is there is more than one judges that will ask you questions. And group interview, which is there is numerous numbers of candidates that will ask you questions. However, if you do not practice for your interview, it doesn't matter even you get such an easy one, you will get panic and nervous during the interview. For your information, I am a student that take human resource management as my major course and was interviewee before this. I will like to share my knowledge based on my experience and what I have learned in preparing the interviews. There are 3 tips in preparing the interview that not only fresh graduate but people out there that seeking for a job can use it, which is know your audience, dress accordingly, and practice interviewings. Ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, before you go to the interview, you need to know your audience first. Based on Know Your Audience, Ask Your Audience articles in 2015 by McCann and Stableford said that by knowing your audience, it could help you to be more confident and convictions during preparing some things. In preparing the interview, you can go searching and spending your spare times to learn everything about the company as many sources as you can. The candidates are often to find the information in easiest way, such as through website and media social. But actually, there are something that are forgot and fail. Do you want to know why some candidate already study about the company but still fail when the interviewer asks them to explain about the companies? I want to share you one tips, which is do not focus much on the information that have been given to you on the website, but try to find something else such as people surrounded the company perspective and the current issue about the company. Then you will get a larger pictures and a different perspective from others candidates. I will give you an analogy. You want to apply a job vacancy in the RBI comms. You will go search and find out that the company is working on automotive manufacturing. But if you go search more deeper, you will see that they also focus on education, which is they have the RBI Com University and they also are major shareholders in Protons. In my opinions, it's good to spend a lot of times before you go to the interview. By knowing your audience in deeper, it could help you to be more confident in explaining in detail about the job scopes or the company and discuss the current issue that the company might face. Ladies and gentlemen, for the second tips, you need to dress accordingly to get a good first impression from your interviewer. According to Karapaha in 2017, in his articles, The Importance of Dress Code and Body Language for interview and group discussion state that even if you are applying a job vacancy in engineering positions, you not only to enhance your communication skill but comes with smart manners during the interview sessions. A good appearance will help the candidate to convey the interviewer with such a strong sense of reliability and dependability. Instead of practicing your verbal communications, you also need to focus your nonverbal communication that you have. By wearing a proper dress code, the candidate can show that they have a sense of professionalism. People always judge you. So, if you want others judge you in a good conditions, you need to be a professional candidate. Based on verbal versus non-verbal communications, by managing mental health methods, justify the effective communication comes from 93% of non-verbal, where 55% comes from the body language, 38% comes from the tones of the voice, and the rest for 7% is the words that been used during the conversations. Sometimes the interviewer do not want to see you on how good you answer the questions, but they like to see on how you deliver the message and act to the questions. If you want to make the interviewer has a positive feeling with you, you need to make sure you address up accordingly and properly. Then the interviewer will impressed by you at the first step when you come to the interview rooms. Based on this proven, I can conclude that the prospective employee might have a positive feeling with you if you follow the dress code orders. You do not need to buy a new and luxurious clothes. As long as your clothes is neat and clean is good enough. You should remember this. You never make a second chance to make a first impressions. By Will Roger. And the last tips is you need always practice and keep practicing before you go the real interview. There is some typical question that will pop up on your minds, such as, what kind of question that will I get? What if I do not know the answer of that questions? If I get blank during the interview, what should I do? What kind of question that I want to give if they ask? Overwhelming anxiety during the interview can actually easily be erased when you are totally prepared and practice before you go to the interview rooms. We cannot deny at any circumstance of interview, we will get panic and nervous. But on how we handle the situation will make we better than others. I will give you an analogy about this. Eric and Smith both are joining a singing competitions. Smith has a talent to sing well, and because of this, he rarely practices it. On the other hand, Eric can sing, but compared to Smith, Smith have a lot of advantages. So, Eric always practice every day to make sure his vocal become better. And during the competitions, Eric sings so well, but Smith have a little problem with his head voice. And because of this, Eric won the competitions. Based on this scenario, we can see that no matter who you are, how well you in a certain subject, if you do not practice and keep practicing, you will miss out on the people that always practice. Based on the website Glassdoor, Emily Moore as an author of the articles how to practice for the interview in 5 steps, which is in his second and the third steps, she said that you need to look up a common question interview and rehearse the answers. This website already identified about 50 most common questions after screening about 10,000 interview review. If you are a first timer become an interviewer, please do not panic and nervous when you do not know what kind of question that they ask. Actually, there are some similarity questions that the recruiter might ask you, such as, tell me about yourself. why we should hire you to fill up the position rather than others. And tell me about your long-term plan. After you identify and screening your possible questions, you need to find how you want to react and answer for every possible questions. The most important thing is you cannot just think about it. You need to write it down and create a key point for every questions. Then you need to rehearse your answer. By doing this, it will improve your communication skill and enhance your confidence level during the interview sessions. By putting a lot of information in your resume does not mean that you are qualified enough to fill up the positions. But during the interview, on how we are selling ourselves will determine you, will determines who will get the job. In a conclusions, there are 3 tips that I already told you, which is know your audience by collecting a lot of information others than the data that on the websites. Second one, dress accordingly during the interview. And the last one, always practicing by rehearsing your answer. If you are follow all these 3 tips but still fail to get the jobs, you should remember this. There is nothing better than attempting your best. When you fail, at least you realize that you are trying your best. That's all for me.